Following a successful insurance village hosted by Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronis, insurance companies resolved a little more than 450 insurance claims. But how many are still pending?
Hurricane Michael, we're not even a year out of its event, and it's still every single day. It's a plague that we have to deal with, but we're all in it together.
Houses still sit in ruins and homeowners wait for their insurance companies to pay out what they need to repair the damage. But the process isn't going as smoothly as they thought. Some say they received a check immediately following the storm, but nothing since then. And that check won't cover a fraction of the damage.
That assessment is very, very small, and it's just to get people started. Well, now people haven't received checks for 7, 8, and sometimes even 9 months, and the insurance companies are now starting to penalize them for not starting their work, but yet they didn't give enough money for them to even complete the first part of the work.
Claims can be complicated, but Perry says things should have been sorted out by now.
We're at the point where things should be lined up. Money should be in the bank or with your mortgage company in escrow, and you should have a good scope of work and know what you're going to be able to do. Know what the beginning is and what the end is. You should have a budget and a plan.
If that's not the case, reach out to CFO Patronis' office. He says his team is working around the clock to get these claims resolved, and they won't stop until they complete the task.
This can be overwhelming. Let us help you deal with your insurance carrier. And the insurance carriers, look, they want to close the claims too.
But if you're still not seeing results, you may want to take a different route.
At this stage, if you have proper documentation, either through an estimator, a public adjuster, a general contractor, or an attorney's office, you should be filing what's called a civil remedy notice. That starts to put the insurance company on notice.
A civil remedy notice is what you file when you're pursuing a lawsuit against an insurer. You should consider a lawsuit if you feel like you've been wronged by your insurance company. But as far as cutting them loose entirely, you may want to weigh the pros and cons.
That's always a case-by-case decision, and it's always tough. I've had some clients in the middle of this process try to change carriers, and in doing so, their insurance premiums have doubled because they haven't finished their repair work to start with.
If you're still struggling with a claim, you should consider seeking out legal representation to take a closer look at your policy, then advise you of your rights and make sure everything has been handled properly thus far.
So now as things start to winnow down or whittle down a little bit, we're now seeing where the mistakes were made early on, or we're trying to find out, who needs help, who needs the assistance.
We're all still dealing with the storm in one way or another, but insurance issues seem to sit at the top as one of the most common issues. It's important to know there are resources like a lawyer or the CFO's office you can use to get things back to normal. Kelly Grossfield, News 13, Panhandle Strong.